provided by...
You got a grandson now.
When the beautifully made is out there.
Yeah, we gotta come over more often.
Why buy boring?
Don't worry about a thing.
Sandals Winter Blues Sale. Prices starting from $249 per person per night.
Gonna be all right.
Visit sandals.com.
Don't worry.
Tomorrow on ET, from the sure things to the snubs, we're breaking down the Oscar nominations. Plus, we're with returning Oscar host Jimmy Kimmel, how the show will address the infamous slap.
It's the elephant in the room.
I mean, I'm sure it's a fine line. Do you do something? Do you just move past it? Jimmy will have it all under control. Okay, before we go, we know the Masellis are making a return to TV, right? But will it include Judith Light? Our Wilmar Fuji found out. Oof. Night, everybody.
There's a time for love and a time for living.
There's a script for Who's the Boss that Freevee has. Are you involved in this? Are you doing it?
Nobody's talked to me about anything.
Are you open? Would you be interested?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer you on any of this because I don't know a lot about it.
Wait.
Happening now.
We finally have a good chance for rain in San Antonio tomorrow. We'll be talking about a rain timeline, how much rain we'll see, and whether or not we could see any severe weather.
A brand new admission that could change the course of the Andre McDonald murder trial. What his sister-in-law says he admitted to just last week that could change everything we know about this case. It is tax filing season once again. How you could possibly get your taxes filed for free, plus get your refund faster. The News at 5 starts right now.
At First at 5, we are talking ever-changing weather. Tomorrow expected to bring some much-awaited rain.
Let's go to Sarah Spivey. She's got the forecast.
Yeah, guys, for this month, we've only seen 1/100th of an inch of rainfall. But this low-pressure system, which is currently set up over parts of El Paso and Phoenix, is pushing into Texas as we speak, going to be bringing us some much-needed rain. We won't really see the rain in San Antonio until early tomorrow in the pre-dawn hours. But right around that morning commute, that's when things could get a little soggy. So plan for that early morning commute to have a little bit of rain. Give yourself a little extra time to get to where you need to go. Rain will linger through lunch. Plan for widespread good rainfall. We're talking 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain at least around San Antonio with pockets of more rain. What we will be watching for is a strong storm or two capable of some gusty winds. This is a lot to cover in the forecast. I'll have that detailed timeline for you and show you which parts of Texas will get snow and even some severe weather. Steve.
Thank you, Sarah. After an alleged confession made just 3 days ago, more unexpected details revealed in day one of the trial of Andre McDonald.
In court today, his sister-in-law outlining how the Air Force major admitted to just recently his part in the death of his wife, Andreen McDonald, but also how their then 8-year-old daughter played a role, too. Erica Hernandez covering this trial for us joins us live from the courthouse. So, Erica, this alleged confession just 3 days ago?
Yeah, it was unexpected, Ursula. Nobody expecting this at all. In fact, Andreen McDonald's sister says today on the stand that neither her or their mother had spoken to Andre in years. That wasn't until Friday when he did make that unexpected call. Now, it was during that 41-minute phone call that Andreen's sister, Cindy Johnson, says that Andre wanted to tell them the truth and didn't want them to find out during trial. Cindy Johnson says that Andre told her mother and her that he killed his wife and burned her body after arguing about finding out Andreen was trying to start another business in her name only. She says he also told them why he was confessing now.
He wants us to know the truth before everything else. You don't want us to learn the truth in the court. He said that he's trying to fight, win the case, so that he can take care of Elena.
Now, Elena is the couple's young daughter who allegedly saw this murder happen, and Andre McDonald hasn't seen her since he was arrested. Also on the stand today was Andrine's friend Carol Ganbar, who says that Andrine had told her she was having marital problems with Andre, and also that she was having an affair with a man in Jamaica. Ganbar says that when Andrine didn't show up to work the morning of March 1st, 2019, she went to their home. It was there she said she found blood inside the McDonald's home on a light switch. Now, while a lot was revealed this morning, it's still not over. We still have about 2 to 3 weeks of trial, as the state has a little over 40 witnesses that are expected to take the stand. 7 of those already taking the stand today. Testimony is expected to begin tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If found guilty, Andre McDonald is facing up to life in prison. At the Kinley Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Erica. SAPD and Crime Stoppers looking for help in tracking down the suspect responsible for killing a 27-year-old woman. This happened back on December 17th of last year, around 5 o'clock. Rain Elaine Rice shot in her vehicle on the off-ramp at Colorado Street on I-10. A gunman in a dark-colored SUV opened fire at Rice, then continued driving on Cesar E. Chavez Boulevard. Any information on this crime can be reported to Crime Stoppers at the number below, 224-STOP, there you see it, or texted to the word crimes.
A street fight over an attempted car burglary spills out into oncoming traffic and then a crash. San Antonio police say a 64-year-old woman who is believed to be the suspect was attempting to break into a car in the 6400 block of Culebra. But when a 39-year-old man confronted her about that, the two began to fight. That fight moving into the street, and when it did, a car struck both of them. The man was fine. The woman, though, taken to the hospital. No word on charges. The driver will not face any charges in the case.
A Boerne music school owner and instructor arrested and charged today for crimes against children. Gareth Good booked around 11 o'clock for aggravated sexual assault, harassment, and indecency with the child. Boerne PD visited his place of residence in the 200 block of Shadywood in Boerne. He works at Good Music Incorporated in Boerne. He's an active band member at St. John Lutheran Church.
We also want you to take a look at this man. His name is Christopher Guerra Jr. He is accused in a stabbing in Guadalupe County yesterday. The Guadalupe County Sheriff's Office says that Guerra, who is 17 years old, stabbed a 15-year-old girl at a home in Seguin. That victim stabbed in the back and the shoulder. She's at BAMC. She is in stable condition. Guerra charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Another school tragedy striking at a charter school in Des Moines, Iowa. 2 students dead, a teacher undergoing surgery. All this following a shooting which investigators are describing as a targeted attack. 3 people are in custody right now.
We don't know the names of the students killed or any background on the suspects. We do know the school is an alternative education program for at-risk kids, grades 9 through 12.
Meantime, more dead in the mass shooting at a dance studio in Monterey Park, California on Saturday. Another victim has died, taking the death toll there to 11. Rita Roy with new information on the gunman's motive and why he may have known his victims.
65-year-old May Nan loved going to Star Dance Studio in Monterey Park, California on weekends. But unfortunately, Saturday was her last dance.
She actually decided to leave early that night and come home to set up for Lunar New Year the next day. It's an event we were all looking forward to as a family, because we spent the past 3 weeks grieving for my grandmother.
Police say she was one of 11 killed when 72-year-old alleged gunman Hu Ken Tran opened fire during a Lunar New Year celebration.
It was a joyous time that immediately turned to tragedy.
Investigators searching the suspect's home to identify a motive. Law enforcement sources saying he had no known criminal history. Authorities now looking into a potential domestic violence scenario. Authorities say about 20 minutes after the massacre, the suspect entered a second dance hall in neighboring Alhambra. 26-year-old Brandon Say wrestling a semi-automatic assault pistol away from him before he could injure anyone else.
When he started prepping the weapon, and I realized I needed to get the weapon away from him, disarm him, or else everybody would have died.
SWAT teams surrounding the suspect in this white van on Sunday before police say he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Tran appears to have been a professional truck driver for at least 20 years and a regular at both dance studios, according to a longtime acquaintance who tells ABC he distrusted most people and spent much of his time alone. The city has opened a crisis resource center to help people cope and offer any assistance they may need in moving forward. Rena Roy, ABC News, Monterey Park, California.
To a scam alert now, the Seguin Police Department warning people about a gift card scam. They say they have received several reports of people being instructed to buy gift cards to pay for bills or help loved ones. The victim is then told to provide the numbers from the gift card to the scammer. Seguin PD wants people to be vigilant on who they're talking to on the phone. If someone requests a form of payment, you should call the business or organization directly. Make sure it's legitimate. If you've been the victim of a scam, you can report it to 830-379-2123. The FDA weighing a major shift in its strategy to administer COVID-19 vaccines. As Ivan Rodriguez reports, they want to make it easier and also clear up some confusion.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration wants to simplify the COVID-19 vaccine process to mirror that of the flu vaccine.
I certainly can't say that patients are very confused and have been. I think even from the start. What does full vaccination mean? What's part of your regular cycle? What's a booster?
The FDA says it expects to assess circulating strains of the virus that causes COVID-19 at least annually and decide in June which strains to select for the fall season, much like the process to update flu vaccines.
Messaging that is more simple of when you should get your next shot, essentially, I think will be helpful for those people who do have the intention to stay immunized and on top of their vaccines.
Moving forward, most people may need only one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine to restore protection, regardless of how many shots they've already received. 2 doses may be needed for people who are very young and haven't been exposed, or for elderly or immune compromised. The FDA saying this simplification of vaccine composition should reduce complexity, decrease vaccine administration errors due to the complexity of a number of different vial presentations, and potentially increase vaccine compliance by allowing clear communication.
The more immunity you have to something before you face that something, the better you're going to do when you come across it.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Now, the FDA's independent vaccine advisors, the Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee, scheduled to meet on Thursday to discuss the future of COVID-19 vaccine regimens and will be asked to vote on whether they recommend parts of FDA's plan. All right, get out your calculators. It's tax season. The filing period's already begun, but if tackling your taxes on your own isn't cut out for you, we know where you can get help for free. A 12 on your side report after the break.
And it looks like a chain reaction wreck here at U.S. Highway 281 at Encino Rio. About 6 cars pulled over on the side of the road. Lots of debris in the road as well. Looks like a number of cars ran into each other, and so began the chain reaction. Looks like folks are having to go around the 2 right lanes of traffic there. No emergency vehicles on the scene yet.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom with a look at what's ahead on the news at 6 o'clock today. Another local school district considering a 4-day school week. Tonight, the Lavernia ISD School Board is sharing what students, parents, and teachers think of this idea. Lee Waldman is getting that feedback and will join us at 6 o'clock. Plus,
in a world where there are so many options, it becomes pretty overwhelming.
so what are the options when it comes to school choice in Texas? It's what a new KSAT Explains is all about today. We're breaking down the public school choices and the fight to create a private school choice option in Texas using public money. What proposals are on the table right now in Austin? And a report showing mistakes made in CPS investigations leading to a new bill that was just filed at the Capitol as well. Why the bill's author says that more extensive training is needed for CPS caseworkers. All that and more today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. I'll see you then. Well, it's that time. tax season. But if IRS forms and number crunching isn't your thing, there is help. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz visited one of the sites where volunteers have fired up the laptops to help people with low to moderate income file their returns. And it's free.
Okay. James Bradley knows a good deal. He's getting his taxes done for free.
That's good. Okay, because they charge me $100, $200, $300 just to do your taxes at some of these places.
He brought his W-2 to the Claude Black Center, one of 12 area sites where the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program is up and running.
We're going to be moving like jackrabbits, but we're going to get them done.
They expect a lot of business. Last year, they helped about 22,000 people maximize their refunds.
And that brought in about $38 million in tax refunds to those participants, which is, of course, money that's put back into the local economy.
Who's eligible? Households that earned $55,000 or less last year qualify for Vitus help. No matter where you get your taxes done, a lot of people's refunds are going to be smaller this year. That's because some of the tax breaks put in during the pandemic are now gone. Like the child tax credit and earned income tax credit, beefed up last year, but are now shrunk back to 2019 amounts. If you need your refund fast, don't mail it in. File electronically and get direct deposit. James hopes to have his refund in about 3 weeks.
It's time to pay your property taxes now. So I need my money back as fast as possible so I can pay on these taxes.
So you're going to get your income tax refund to pay your property taxes.
Yeah.
The filing deadline for Uncle Sam is April 18th. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Now, to see a list of the VITA locations and what documents you need to bring, just check out this story on KSAT.com.
Taking a look outside with live cam, we are on standby. Those clouds you see right there, there's going to be more of them, and they're going to bring us real rain.
We need real rain. Exceptional drought, bullseye over San Antonio and into the hill country. So it'll be a nice welcome change to see rain in our forecast tomorrow. But it does come at kind of an inconvenient time right around the morning commute. So there's a lot to chat about. First, let's get you started with what's going on out there right now. As Ursula mentioned, those clouds have moved in. It's cloudy and 58 degrees. Winds are from the east at about 15 miles per hour. And tonight will be cloudy, chilly, and breezy. We'll be seeing temperatures fall into the upper 40s by midnight, and it's after midnight that the rain will really start to develop out west. So don't expect any rain yet until again early tomorrow morning. Let's show you this weather setup though. Here's a look at a swirl in the atmosphere right here over parts of New Mexico and Arizona. That's that trough of low pressure that's going to be providing us with some lift to finally see some rain. Most of these low pressure systems have missed us to the north through most of January, so it's really nice to see that. Let me take you through the futurecast here because this is going to be a dynamic system across the state of Texas. Snowfall for the Panhandle and parts of North Texas, heavy rains in East Texas, and even some severe storms from Houston down to Victoria. What can we expect here in San Antonio? Well, I'll take you through the futurecast locally. First, let's get you through this evening. Again, out west, some showers will develop in the pre-dawn hours, close to about 3 o'clock in the morning. We could be seeing some rain around San Antonio at that time. But right around the time of the early morning commute, we'll have scattered downpours. You can see the scattered nature of this rain through the early morning commute, some of that scattered rain. So please plan accordingly. Give yourself some extra time to get to where you need to go. You know how it is in San Antonio whenever there's a little bit of rain out there. Then as we head into the mid-morning hours, a front is going to move through, and this is where we could have some rumbles of thunder and perhaps even a strong storm or two around San Antonio, showing you a snapshot at about 10 o'clock. And then after 10 o'clock, especially after lunch, that's when we'll see most of that rain push east of San Antonio, and we'll actually start to see skies clear. Notice how robust those storms could become east of San Antonio toward Gonzales, Hallettsville, Cuero, and Victoria. It's those areas that will be on the lookout for some severe weather. Of course, we'll be keeping tabs on things around San Antonio too, but really the better chance for severe weather is east of San Antonio toward toward Hallettsville, Ocampo, the Bay City area, Galveston, and even up toward Houston. As for rainfall, the Houston area is really going to benefit up to about 3 inches of rain. But even here in San Antonio, yes, we're going to see widespread healthy rains. East of San Antonio, New Braunfels, Seguin, Gonzales, Hallettsville, 1 to 2 inches of rain. And around the Alamo City, we feel great about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of widespread rainfall, pockets of more than that. So again, this is welcome rainfall for us. It's been very dry, not only for this month, but also for most of winter itself. Taking you through the KSAT 12-hour forecast, just to reiterate everything I said, in the early morning hours and into the midday hours, that's when we have mid-morning hours, that's when we have our best chance for rain, about 60 to 80% coverage. We're going to be looking at cold weather early tomorrow too, temperatures in the 40s, so chilly and damp, not a great combination. And then as we head into lunch, that's when we'll start to see rain push on off to the east. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Then in the afternoon, we're going to see sunshine, totally sunny skies, high temperature near 60, but it's going to get very windy. Northwest winds sustained at 20, but gusting potentially up to 35 to 40 miles per hour. We talk about more of that coming up at 6, the gusty winds tomorrow. But as for the rest of the week, cold mornings, near freezing a couple mornings, and cool, highs only near 60 degrees.
Thank you, Sarah. Perfect description of gumbo weather.
Gumbo weather. I like it. All right. A lot of people are putting the blame for yesterday at the feet of number 4.
Yeah, Dak Prescott certainly contributed with 2 interceptions, but you also have to take into consideration also the Cowboys front office are getting rid of Amari Cooper, a favored target, when we come back. But Dak has made a promise about next year when we come back after the frustrating loss, the second round of the playoffs, and a very frustrated Dallas D who played good enough to win in advance. Coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Another frustrating finish for the Dallas Cowboys and their fans for the second season in a row at the hands of the San Francisco 49ers. And what makes this even more unbelievable is that a rookie in Brock Purdy outplayed a seasoned veteran, Dak Prescott, a quarterback, by not turning over the ball. After his incredible playoff performance in Tampa Bay, the Cowboys are hoping for a repeat in Santa Clara last night. Instead, Prescott pressed and gave up 2 interceptions. Should have been 4 on the night, but luckily for Prescott, the Niners could not secure the ball the 2 other times in the 19-12 loss. That's 15 for the regular season, 2 against the Niners in the playoffs. After the game, Prescott made this promise.
2 tonight, as I said, unacceptable. I can't put the ball in jeopardy like that, whether they're tipped up in tight throws or whether I'm late on a stop route. Just can't happen. And the number that has gotten to is ridiculous. And I can promise that the number will never be this again. I can promise that.
Now, on the other side of the ball, the Dallas defense played well enough to win and push the Cowboys to the first NFC Championship game in 27 years. They held the Niners, who have been averaging over 38 points under Purdy at quarterback, to just 19 and just 1 touchdown. And that was set up with the play of the night when Purdy was able to find George Kittle, who made an unbelievable catch after it bounced off his face mask. That would lead to a 2-yard touchdown by Christian McCaffrey. The frustration was evident in Micah Parsons' reaction after the game.
You tell me we come in this game and holding them up to under 20 points, and if you take away the turnover points, you holding them to under 15, you win the game. So I really want to say that. I think everybody left it out there, but they made bigger plays.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done, but this is why it hurt so much, because I knew we had the team to do it. We had the right guys to do it.
And he played hurt, by the way. All right, here's the NFC Championship matchup, the 49ers and the Eagles, Sunday at 2 o'clock. Meantime, it's the Cincinnati Bengals headed to the AFC Championship for a rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs after they were able to throttle the Bills in snowy Buffalo on Sunday, despite the fact that Damar Hamlin was at the game for the first time since his cardiac arrest on the field that forced their regular season meeting to be canceled. Joe Burrow lived up to his nickname as Joe Cool, throwing for 2 touchdowns, the 27-10 rout. So the matchup repeats itself this year. Remember, they went to overtime to decide it last year, 27-24. Should be another tight game Sunday at 5:30. And coming up at 6 o'clock, what was with that last play of the game and the Cowboys with Zeke as the center? What was going on there?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Someone needs some splaining.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching the news at 5.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.